Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our November IHMVCU Financial Fitness Workshop. My name is Addie Hendrick, and I am the Member Development Intern here at IH, and I'm so glad that you could join us today to learn more about fraud defense. So, from fake shopping sites to too good to be true job offers, scammers are busy during the holidays. With the right knowledge and a few smart habits, you can protect your money, your identity, and your peace of mind. And the next slide, we'll talk about why fraud is more advanced than ever before, the most common holiday scams and warning signs, smart habits for safe online shopping and banking, how to strengthen passwords and protect your accounts, and then what steps to take if you have been targeted by fraud. So now I'd like to introduce our knowledgeable IHMVCU speaker tonight, Jennifer Laud. She is the fraud investor at our headquarters location. Jen has been with IH for about 1 year now, bringing with her 13 years of dedicated service at the Moline Police Department. During her time there, she worked across all 3 shifts and held several key roles, including community service officer, school resource officer at Wilson Middle School, and juvenile investigator. Jen has always had a passion for serving her community, and now she channels that same commitment through supporting IH members. So welcome, Jennifer.
Hello.
So now, before we jump in, I wanted to remind you that everyone is muted for the entirety of this session. If questions arise during the session, please place them in the chat, and we will address them at the end of the webinar. Also, this session is being recorded for future viewing purposes. So with that, I will hand it over to Jennifer.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I can't believe the holidays are already here. I can't believe there's only 1 week until Thanksgiving. I'm so excited to be back with you for our second session, expanding on what we talked about back in July. Tonight, we are diving into a topic that impacts all of us, especially during the holiday season, and that is fraud and how it's evolving in the digital age. Digital fraud isn't what it used to be. Scammers today are using psychology, what we also call social engineering, to trick people into trusting them. And with new tools like AI and deep fakes, they can create emails, images, or even voice recordings that seem completely real. On top of all that, caller ID and websites can be spoofed to look legitimate. So even something that looks trustworthy at first glance might not be. These scammers are more advanced, and that makes them harder to spot. Scammers also take advantage of data leaks and information that they find online to create messages that feel personal. If they know where you work or where you shop, it's easy for them to send a convincing email or text. They often use real-time phishing attacks that create fake urgency, like a text saying, "Your account will be locked in 10 minutes. Click here to verify." They want you to act before you think. Another common scam we see, especially around the holidays, is the too good to be true offers. Many people turn to job sites to find seasonal work or part-time work during this time of year, and scammers know that. They'll post fake jobs on legitimate job boards or even on social media, offering things that sound great, like remote positions, flexible hours, or usually high pay. I know every once in a while I'll receive a text message from a job saying I can work from home and work only 3 to 4 hours a day, making $800 to $1,000. That for sure is going to be a scam. And once they gain your trust, they'll ask for sensitive information like social security numbers, your bank details. They may even send you a fraudulent check. They'll ask you to deposit it and then send the funds back or send the money back in a wire. Some scammers even pull personal information directly from your resume, like your address, your phone number, and your past employment. And they'll use that to build a profile that they can exploit later. In the end, victims think they've been hired, but then the company disappears and there was never a real job. And now the scammers have your personal information. It's a reminder that if something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. So everybody loves a gift card around the holidays, and scammers do too. One common scam starts with the fake job offer, and the scammers will send you a check and they'll instruct you to deposit it, go out and buy gift cards, and then send photos of the gift card on the back with the numbers. And later that check that you deposited will bounce, and it will often be on a closed account, and they will leave you responsible for the money. This is a perfect example of why gift cards are a scammer's best friend. They are hard to trace and easy to redeem. Another popular scam involves an urgent call claiming a loved one has been arrested and needs bail money. The caller will pressure you into buying gift cards and send the codes on the back to pay the bond. Don't fall for it. Law enforcement and bail agencies will never ask for gift cards as payment. If you receive this type of call, hang up and verify the situation independently. Most gift card scams start with an imposter message or call. Scammers often pretend to be your boss, a family member, tech support, or even a government agency. They rely on urgency or emotional pressure, claiming someone's in trouble or that something bad will happen to you if you don't act fast. Then the come act. They'll instruct you to buy gift cards and share the codes either by sending a picture of the back or reading the numbers over the phone. That code is as good as cash. Once it's redeemed, the money is instantly gone, often before you realize what happened. The bottom line, no legitimate company or agency will ever ask you to pay with a gift card. If someone does, it's a scam. Stop, think, and verify before you act. I know many stores now will limit the amount of gift cards that you can purchase or put signs up by the gift cards warning people about gift card scams. A lot of times when people fall victim to gift card scams, the scammers will end up asking you to go to multiple stores to avoid employees from stopping you from sending money to scammers. So they try to trick you into going to several locations. Charity scams are especially common during the holidays or after disasters. When people are feeling generous, scammers take advantage of that by pretending to represent well-known charities or even by creating fake ones from scratch. They'll often pressure you to donate right away, not giving you any time to pause or research. You might be asked to send money in unusual ways, like gift cards or wire transfers. Some will share an emotional story, but can't provide the real details about where the money goes. With so many donation links on social media these days, it can be difficult to tell what's legitimate. A key takeaway for our members is always research before donating. Use resources like give.org to check if a nonprofit is real. Giving is wonderful, but it's giving smart, ensuring your generosity goes to the people and the causes that truly need it. A lot of times during the holidays, you'll see many companies put warnings on their social media pages saying that they're not calling people and asking for donations. And every year it seems like local police departments are hit with the same scam. And scammers are calling as the chief of police and asking if you would like to make a donation to the police department. In reality, you're giving money to a scammer along with your personal information and possibly your debit card. During the holiday season, scammers ramp up their efforts because they know people are busy, emotional, and spending more than usual. It's the perfect time to exploit trust. Let's look at a few of the most common scams. The first being the too good to be true deals. These often show up in emails, ads on social media. If you see a gaming console that's usually $300 and it's on sale for $49, that is going to be a red flag. You always want to pause and verify the retailer before clicking. I know recently I've been getting ads online about UGG shoes that appear to come from a Dick's Sporting Good website. And they're on sale for $39, and they usually cost over $100. And after looking at the website, it's clear that it's not the Dick's Sporting Good website. And if you were to click on that ad, it would take you to a fraud website where the scammers are able to collect your information. And that's going to lead us to the next scam, which is the fake retail websites. So scammers are doing a great job at creating convincing lookalike sites. You want to double check the URL and avoid shopping on sites that you've never heard of unless you can confirm they're legitimate. Social media scams, which are fake ads or page pop-ups that are promoting hard to find or popular gifts. Once you order, either the product will never arrive to your house or your card information gets stolen. The key is, if something feels off, it probably is. So remind yourself and share this with your loved ones to slow down, verify, and when in doubt, reach out to us. Your credit union is here to help and protect you. I know we touched a little bit on this at our last webinar in July. So if you want to check that out, the link to that will be dropped in the chat. As your credit union, we want to help you shop smarter and safer during the holiday season. So when it comes to shopping safely online, here are 5 simple but powerful steps. The first is to stick to trusted retailers. Scammers create those convincing lookalike websites, so always double check the site name, check for reviews, and check the contact information before you buy. You want to be aware of the urgent and pressure tactics, the fake flash sales or countdown clocks that they designed to push you to acting quickly without verifying if the deal is real. You want to avoid public Wi-Fi's for payments. Public networks aren't secure, and hackers can intercept your information if you enter payment details while you are connected. You also want to check the HTTPS and the secure payment methods. Look for the padlock symbol in the browser and use trusted payment options like credit cards or secure digital wallets. You want to use a strong and unique password and turn on 2-factor authentication. That extra step makes it harder for scammers to get into your accounts, even if they do get your password. Following these 5 steps can make a huge difference in keeping your holiday shopping stress-free and secure. Let's talk about something many people overlook, and that's password security. Cyber criminals don't manually guess your password. They use automated tools that test thousands of combinations per second. So if your password is something simple like password 123, that can be cracked instantly. Even worse, many people reuse the same password across multiple sites. If one of those websites gets breached, and many do, criminals now have access to your email, shopping accounts, and maybe your online banking account. So what's the solution? Use strong, unique passwords. A good rule of thumb is at least 12 characters with a mix of letters, numbers, and special characters. If you're thinking, how can I remember all that? Don't. There's password managers that can securely store your login information and even generate strong password codes for you. And don't forget the two-factor authentication. It's a simple extra step that makes it much harder for someone to access your accounts, even if someone gets your password. Staying safe online doesn't have to be complicated. It just takes a few smart habits. Let's talk about one of the most emotionally manipulative forms of fraud, and that's phone spoofing and imposter scams. Scammers can fake a caller ID to make it look like they're coming from your credit union, a government agency, or even a family member. So just because it says IHMVCU on your screen doesn't mean it's us. They use familiar scripts like, this is the fraud department, we need to confirm a suspicious charge, or you owe the IRS so much money, you need to pay now or face arrest. You could get phone calls like your grandchild has been in an accident or is in jail and needs bail. You've won a sweepstakes, just confirm your bank account information and claim it. The goal is to trigger a panic response so you can act fast before you think or verify. Here's what we want you to remember. We will never call you and ask for your full account information. We will never ask for your one-time passcodes or your online banking credentials. If you are ever unsure, hang up and call us directly using the number on the debit card or our website. It's okay to be cautious, and your gut feeling is often right. If something feels off, stop, verify. Your online bank account is a prime target for scammers because once they get in, they can move money, change your contact information, or even lock you out of your account. One of the most common tactics is for scammers to pose as your credit union's fraud department. They'll say things like, we've noticed suspicious activity on your account. To secure it, we need to verify your login and have you read back the code that we just sent you. This sounds legitimate, right? But what's happening is the scammers are attempting to log into your online banking. They're either using the button that says forgot username, or they already have your username and they're going to use the forgot password. They will have that code sent to your cell phone and then ask you to send them that code in order to verify your identity. And when you read that code back to them, they are now in your online banking and have access to your account. So a reminder, we will never ask you to share your password, verification codes, or tell you to move your money for security reasons. This is a classic scam. If you're ever unsure, stop and call us directly. You're going to want to use the number that's on the back of your debit card or go to our website and take the phone number off the website. You never want to trust a phone number that was sent to you. Another trick that the scammers like to use too is calling you after business hours and on the weekends. They know that employees are gone for the evening or the weekend, and they know that you are unable to contact your credit union. So they use that to their advantage. How do we help to protect you? So we have 24/7 fraud monitoring and transaction alerts, secured digital banking infrastructure. We do regular employee training and security audits and member education programs. If you think you've been a targeted or fell victim to fraud, quick action is crucial. You're going to want to contact your credit union immediately so we can help secure your accounts. You can freeze your cards and your debit card and your credit card on the banking app, and you can even hold your online banking account to prevent further loss. You can report the incident to the Federal Trade Commission and or your local law enforcement, depending on the situation. You're going to want to change your passwords, especially for your online banking, your email, and any other accounts that may share the same password. And if it's not already on, you're going to want to turn on multi-factor authentication for extra protection. Before we wrap up, I wanted to make sure you know where you can find help anytime you need it. We have a helpful fraud prevention resource available right on our website. I recommend you visit our website to keep up with current fraud trends. It also helps guide you on what to do if you become a victim of fraud. If you believe your identity has been stolen, you will want to contact each credit bureau. Place a fraud alert or credit freeze. Request copies of your credit report. Dispute any unauthorized activity. Even if you have not been a victim of identity theft, you can freeze your credit to prevent someone from getting a line of credit in your name. You are entitled to one free credit report every year. You can get your free reports by visiting annualcreditreport.com. The link to this is in the chat. And finally, I want to thank all of you for joining me tonight and taking the time to learn about how to protect yourselves from fraud. I'm now going to hand it back over to Addie.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us, Jennifer. We have a few minutes for questions. So if you haven't already, please place those questions in the chat. I have one to get us started. So Jennifer, can you please give me an example of what two-way multi-factor authentication is?
Yeah, so two-way multi-factor authentication involves a layer of, or two layers of security. So it requires your password, and then it's also going to require a second code or like an authenticator app.
Awesome, thank you. We have one question that's in the chat. It says, I thought it was now 4 credit bureaus.
What, I'm sorry, what was that?
It says, I thought now it was 4 credit bureaus instead of, I think we said 3 earlier.
Oh, yeah, I'm only aware of the 3, but I guess if there's a 4th one.
Yeah, we can figure that out and get back to you. So, but right now we're only aware of 3. So, and then also another question is placing a fraud alert a good preventative step?
Yeah, so I recommend everyone place a hold on their credit, put a freeze on their credit. It's easy for you to take off when you need to use it, and then you can put it back on when you no longer need to have your, be like running your credit. With the way identity theft is anymore, I think it's very important to be proactive in protecting your identity.
Great. And then another question is, what is the best way to confirm a suspicious caller?
So the best way is to either hang up and call the actual known number for that company. I would say you could also ask questions that company should know. A lot of times scammers are not able to answer simple questions that they should know, but probably the best is to just hang up and call the phone number that you know directly.
Awesome. If there's any more questions, feel free to place them in the chat and we'll email a response back to you. But now we're just going to wrap up for the night. So we appreciate you all joining us tonight. And again, if you have any other questions or concerns about fraud or digital safety, some ways to reach out include stopping by your local branch for in-person support, calling our contact center if you want to learn more, or chatting with us online. Jennifer's blog post is another great resource if you want to learn more on how to protect yourself from fraud. And I'm adding that to the chat right now in case you want to look at it. Lastly, be sure to look for a follow-up survey over the next couple of days with the recording of this session and a survey. We would love to hear your honest feedback about the webinar today. And then please watch out for other free webinar opportunities that will be available for monthly sign up. We will not have one in December due to the holidays. Yay, Christmas is coming up. But we'll have one in January on the 28th at 6 p.m. with the topic of FAFSA made simple. So if you know any high school, college students that would love to attend, that would be great for them. And then the sign up link for that to get registered will be in the follow-up email as well. Thank you all for joining us, and we hope you have a great rest of your night and a happy Thanksgiving next week.